Hello and welcome to a little behind the scenes debrief as Jess and I kind of talk about episode one and the kind of process and kind of decompress. If you're listening to this, you are likely a subscriber on Patreon, so thank you so much. We appreciate your support and adore you greatly. Jess,
That was gross.
your improv skills are phenomenal. For the folks at home, um, there's a moment before Caradog's song which was edited out where I basically was like, if you want, we can figure out this song and like we can record it later and like put it into the podcast. Like we can create this whole thing. And Jazz was like, yeah, and just launched into what you heard in the episode, which was entirely improvised in the moment. It was incredible. I was like our cameras are on just for the sake of like connectivity. It's nice to be able to see the reactions of the person that you're playing with. My face was like lit up. I was so impressed. It was incredible.
The disaster about that for me is that I'm gonna have to do it for every meal now.
Perhaps.
So, because
Perhaps.
I was like, oh, like that's the beauty of not doing something live is we're recording it, and I was like, oh, you know what? Fortune favors the fucking brave. Let's try here, and if I utterly beef
We
it,
can
we can cut
just
it out.
yeah.
But I think it will have to. I kind of blacked out, but we'll have to
It
hear it
was so good. It was absolutely incredible. It was so good.
I'm gonna have to do that
Um
for every sin now.
yeah, and there was a few moments like both myself where I had to kind of take a beat to absorb what Jess had just said. And I did see from Jess's end, right near the end, Jess had this kind of like visceral bodily reaction where it was like almost like you were processing what we had just completed.
Yeah. Well, like while we were recording it, I mean, there's an element of when you're doing this kind of like RPG thing where I don't know, I'm kind of just like I'm trying to go, okay, what am I seeing? What am I like? I'm trying to put
Yeah.
myself in the character and who like lives in this gross, horrifying
Hmm.
lifestyle. And but then as we're coming to the end, and I'm like, and I can kind of see the end of the tunnel and like the supports, I guess, of the house that we're in that we've constructed, and I'm like, okay, we're about to be done. And then I was like, oh, I've done something disgusting.
You're like, oh, what have we done?
I did so many gross things.
Yeah.
I put a quill in a guy's foot.
Yeah, that was wild, and will be that will be one of the content warnings, which is
Yeah.
great because like coming into this, I was like, I mean, we're talking a big game at the start, being like, there's all content warnings, and I was like, oh, we're pretty tame so far. And then you're like, hey, I'm gonna fuck this body up, and I was like, okay, content
Yeah.
warning right there, we got it.
Yeah, it's gross. I don't know what's going on with this family, but
Yeah,
I,
we'll investigate that mystery further as each
I feel like
episode
it's weird.
continues. Fucking the the moment where you were like, I want someone to die and I want them to die soon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Like such a good way to kind of tee up the whole show
Yep.
in general. Um so good. And also if you're listening to this and if you're listening to this way down the track and everything's been released and you've listened to like but you've listened from the prologue to the epilogue. Fun fact, and if you haven't, you'll know that there's an epilogue coming. But fun fact, the epilogue was inspired mid session. I paused and was like, "Hey, I just had an idea for the epilogue. What do you think?" And Jess was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, we're doing that." So if you're listening to this and you've already listened to the entirety of it, that the epilogue was not part of the plan and was created in this episode, in this like in the process of making it. Such a rich system with such vivid descriptions. And I'm so conscious of the fact like this is our first episode that we're recording properly, and I realize there's going to be a lot of repetition, but that almost works. Like each episode I'm going to ask very similar questions, I'm
Totally.
going to say a lot of the very similar things that are written in the like text of the game itself. um even the like even the the little epilogue kind of
Yeah.
parts of the episode was very much built
But
into
it's a
the
ritual,
ash can.
right?
It's
We're
a
doing a
ritual. That's the
ritual, and we're
thing
doing
is
a
like we're
ritual
doing a
over and
ritual
over
each
again.
time, but it creates an interesting challenge for me in that how do you do something that is both the same and feels new? And I'm very excited to kind of explore that in the next few episodes. But yeah, wow, Jess, like truly, I knew you were good at
Oh,
improv,
thanks, buddy.
but I just like that's the first time I've seen it so unleashed. Like you're so fantastic in main campaign. I see it all the time, but for the first time, I saw you just like fully with no bounds allowed. Like it was just you, and you were like, "All right, let's carry this." Even me
Well,
being kind of a dick, and you being like, "So
yeah,
what
you're
do I
like,
find?" I'm
"What?"
like, "Nah, dog, you answer
I know, I
that."
was so mad at you. I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna look around the room," and you were like, "Yeah, you look around the room, motherfucker. What do you see?" I was like, "Okay, what do I
Yeah,
find? Cool. I find gross pictures."
gross pictures, which like. Also, just like that moment of improv is now going to inform
Yeah.
choices that I have to make where I'm like, why did they have these profane writings? Why did they have these things hidden and secreted away?
Yep.
That informs now the next few episodes and the story in large.
Yep.
And that's a big part that excites me is telling a larger story using this system is is a very fascinating challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very much intended kind of as like a solo journaling exercise. So it's been cool to like, yeah, I think you've done a great job of it. I think it
Oh,
immediately
thank you.
feels like, okay, there's like this mini campaign of like this family and what's going to happen. And that's part of why I was like, I hope more of them die because
Yeah, it was
I want to
so
keep
good.
fucking playing, right?
Yeah, no, it was
So
amazing, and I'm
it's exciting.
excited for each sin will flavor the episode because it like in a weird way this episode felt gluttonous. Like
Yeah.
it felt like we were kind of indulging ourselves,
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
I'm excited to kind of run into each sin and try to flip the sins as well. I came into this with the desire to I didn't want to do like gluttony,
Hmm.
really like overweight person that like eats too much. That's a very
Overdone. Yeah.
overdone thing.
Mr. Creosote.
But little yeah, Mr. Creosote,
Yeah,
exactly. Little
Waffarfiend.
look behind the curtain. Some of you may have noted it. If if you've done all of the deep diving that I've done, but Laute is a significant name because it is the Latin word to describe. I'll find the laute, eating food that is too luxurious, exotic, or costly.
Oh,
It is a word
fun.
to describe. There is five kind of subsections of gluttony, and I like really dove into that because I was like, I don't want it to be. It's studios, which is
Yeah.
eating food that is excessive in Oh, sorry, that studios is quality.
Yeah.
Nimbus is eating food that is excessive in quantity, so too much. And I wanted it to not be that one. That was very specifically the one that I didn't want. Or
Yeah.
Ardenta, which is eating greedily, so eating too fast. Maybe not too
Mm,
much, but too fast.
yep.
Um, oh wait, no, but there's also Proporapri, which is eating hastily, so too soon or at an inappropriate time.
Right.
So there's like this is all Saint Thomas Aquinas was like, this is how you should eat. It's wild and honestly kind of fucked up that they were
Yeah,
like,
it's
no, 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 you have
bizarro.
to eat austere food. You have to eat like you have to eat in a specific way, otherwise
Yeah.
hell. Um, but yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to like lean like too much into the what the expectation of a
Mhm.
sin will be, and that exploration in these next sins is going to be really interesting. There are a few that I think I might just run into the fact that it's hard to not just be
Mhm.
like this
It's
sin is
fine.
that sin because you fall into the trap of like lust. I like the idea of like lusting over money
Yeah.
is greed. Like
Yes.
once you move too far away from one sin, you end up falling into another.
Yeah, completely.
Um, and so yeah, it's I'm fascinated into turning kind of some of these sins on their heads and doing my best job to not have it be the stock standard, like,
Well, I can't
lust.
wait.
They wanna fuck people, like, the
I'm
like,
excited.
that's boring to me.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
man. I feel like we could also do something cool with the journal. I don't know. I don't know if we're not at the point where we're like doing art and stuff yet, but it could be neat to like mock up like a page of the journal for each episode,
Yeah.
what that
Yeah,
looks like with the
wow. Yeah, that'd
title
be
and like some
cool
of the things that
to
Caradog
describe.
says and
Yeah.
some of the gross shit and the
You're hearing it
folds.
live here, folks, that
Yeah,
we're coming up with things to do in the episode.
this big brain
Again,
stuff.
a little I'll give the folks in Patreon a little peek behind the curtain. This episode and prologue were recorded fairly early. This has been recorded a long time before release, for multiple reasons, but we're almost doing this like pre-production production thing simultaneously, which is fun. It's been good. But
So,
Jess,
so good.
absolute pleasure. That was incredible to play with you there. That
Oh,
was so much fun.
it was so fun. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Until
Oh,
the next one.
until the next one. I'm so excited. Amazing. Well, I'm going to
Cool.
end the talk back there. Thank you so much again for subscribing to our Patreon so that you had
Thank
access to listen to
you.
this. We hope you have a wonderful day. And uh, we hope that the meals that you prepare are devoid of any sins. Thank
Wipe your
you.
goddamn mouth.
Wipe your goddamn mouth and prepare to take another bite. Good night.